that we are marking 20 years of 9/11, and a lot of things have happened in the last few months in Afghanistan and around the world related to the situation in Afghanistan. There is a big question now: what's coming next for us? What's the next situation? Because every day it's quite different for us. Now, Taliban has formed a government recently. They already have their supreme religious leader at the top, and then comes their prime minister and other leaders. The model, which looks pretty similar to an Iranian model, that's what we were discussing a few days back in another Daily Dose podcast. That the government model that they're presenting is actually pretty similar to what's happening in Iran. We also discussed about this fact few days back in our Daily Dose podcast for those who attended last Saturday, when we talked about how Qatar and countries like those can play a major role, which are having good ties on both the sides of the pendulum. They have good relationships with the United States. They have good relationships with the Taliban. But then whom are they supporting at the end of the day is up to them, and how they mediate the situation is going to be critical, isn't it?
Yeah. And the other side of it is way, way, way too early for us to be able to have any confidence at all of what the Taliban are saying is what the Taliban's going to do. It's all very well and good to say, oh, forget about before. No, we're good fellas now. We've learned. Even when you start to think about it from a perspective of just a logical approach, if you have just spent 20 years, in your opinion, getting rid of the people from your country that invaded you and have stopped you from being able to live your life as you believe it should be, why in God's name would you then come in as the government and change towards where they're thinking? Doesn't make sense to me. Historically, birds with feathers have feathers. They don't suddenly become a seal. They don't suddenly become an elephant. You either are or you aren't. Now you can shift a little, like evolution does, but to go from here to there, I'll be very interested to see what our guest has to say on the 16th.